A Chicago-based writer and activist says he has a revolutionary idea to reform the nation's economy and close the wealth gap. In the recently released book called Our Fair Share, author Brian C. Johnson advocates for what's called a Citizens Dividend, which would take 5% of all profits made by businesses into a national fund that would cut an annual check to every American. But one critic says it's a one-sided view of the economy and that a universal basic income might make more sense. Joining us are Brian C. Johnson, the author of the book and CEO of Equality, Illinois, and Lawrence Officer, Professor of Economics at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Thank you, both of you, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. I'll start with you, Brian. The big idea of the book, as we mentioned, is called the Citizens Dividend. Explain to us briefly what that is.
Sure. Every business in America that turns a profit does so using wealth we all own together. Our natural resources, our inherited systems like our Constitution, our societal resources like our roads and our infrastructure. And in a market-based economy, when you use somebody else's wealth to create value, you owe part of that wealth back to those original owners. And that's why the citizen dividend is simply a statement that we all in America have an equal right to a share of business profits.
So a 5% tax on all business that would be redistributed to all Americans in the form of a rebate. Lawrence, what do you make of an idea like this?
The economic basis is incomplete, I would say. There's a symbiotic relationship between business and citizens, or the entire country. So Brian is saying that the entire country provides good stuff for business. The business should be taxed and the proceeds go to us citizens. But I say that business provides good stuff to us, the economy. Business provides jobs for workers. Business provides goods and services for us as consumers. So why not tax the citizens and give the proceeds to business? One can make the argument either way.
Well, Brian Johnson, there's a lot of debate going on right now about universal basic income. There's a pilot program in the city of Chicago for 5,000 low-income families. So how does your idea differ from the idea of UBI?
Well, first, I just want to address what Lawrence said a little bit earlier, which is, I think if we are not willing to value the wealth we all own together as citizens, our resources, our inherited systems, if we're going to place that value as zero, then what will flow from that is that we won't return value to citizens from corporate profits. I simply said the opposite. Those things we all owned together are incredibly valuable. There's no business in this country that could turn a profit without our national defense, without our natural resources, without our Constitution and our courts. So if those pieces of wealth are valuable, then we need to acknowledge that those are part of the production that creates value and return the wealth that is created by businesses to those original owners, us. As far as what's different from a universal basic income, they're very similar. And in fact, a citizen dividend could fuel a universal basic income. But a citizen dividend is viewed first as a right, and second of all, is not set so much that it would guarantee a certain amount every single year.
And Lawrence Officer, kind of picking up from Mr. Johnson's rebuttal to your point, this is done in the state of Alaska where there is a tax on oil companies and that money is distributed to all Alaskans. Is that an example of a system like this that does actually work?
It has one half of what Brian is suggesting, namely equal distribution of a fund or income generated by a fund to all residents of Alaska. However, it is not a tax. It's not a tax on all business profits, as Brian is advocating, nor is it a tax even on the oil industry. It emanates from oil royalties. That is, for example, giving the companies the right to use pipelines and construct pipelines and keep them going. So it's not even a tax on oil, and it's definitely not a general tax on all business.
Brian, in your book, where you talk about this, you interviewed a handful of folks all across the country, including in Chicago. What did you learn from their stories that helped crystallize this idea?
I learned that most Americans are really experiencing rising inequality in America on a visceral level. I mean, the data shows we have not seen this level of inequality in over a century. We have CEOs who used to make 20 times the median worker in the 1960s, now making 300 times the median worker. We see the top 1% now owns twice as much wealth as the bottom 90% in America. And when I talk to the people for this book, they might not have understood all the key facts or the complex reasons that have contributed to this explosive inequality. But they feel on a visceral level, as wages are stagnating, costs are rising, and the ultra-rich are only getting wealthier, that there's something happening in our country that flies in the face of our deepest values, that we can come together across our differences to forge a common future.
In Lawrence, officer, there's no doubt the data shows there's just consistent growing gulf, wealth gap, divide here between top earners and between the rest of the country. In your view, what would be a better approach to get at this problem?
Well, first of all, it's inevitable. The greater inequality to which Brian is referring and you and others refer to, that's a direct consequence of our economic system. The market system, capitalist system works by spreading income inequality. It worsens it. We may not like that, but without income inequality, you wouldn't have Microsoft, you wouldn't have the internet, you wouldn't have Facebook, you wouldn't have iPhones, you wouldn't have automobiles, you wouldn't have a lot of good stuff. Now, we don't like that. We like the higher GDP that business gives us, but we don't like the income inequality that spreads. So I get that. I agree with Brian on that. The question is whether his proposal makes most sense. What makes most sense to an economist is to minimize the inefficiency associated with policies that bring about greater equality. Therefore, it makes sense to take a little bit of money from a lot of people or a lot of business. I get that from what Brian is saying, but you don't want to give it to a whole bunch of people. That's ridiculous. You want to give it to the most needy, i.e. a UBI makes more sense. Making even more sense, in my opinion, is something like reparations. I'm not saying I'm in favor of reparations for African-American descendants of slavery. That's a complicated matter. However, it makes sense to concentrate the monies that you get by a business tax, if you want to have it, on the most needy groups or the most worthy groups, and not to everyone equally.
It's certainly an interesting debate, and we have to leave it there. Our thanks to Brian C. Johnson talking about his new book, and Lawrence Officer. We really appreciate it.
Thank you both.
Thank you.